If you, like me, have followed the lives of members of European royal families for many years, then you surely remember that magical moment which happened exactly 22 years ago. On the 8th of October, 2003, then Crown Prince Frederik of Denmark officially proposed marriage to Mary Donaldson, an Australian woman who would forever change the Danish monarchy. Today, we will remember this love story together, a story that began like a modern fairy tale and over time became one of the strongest royal unions in Europe. The Olympic Games in Sydney in 2000 were in full swing. On an ordinary evening in a bar called Slip Inn, Mary Donaldson, a marketing manager who knew nothing about the Danish royal family, was charmed by a charismatic man who introduced himself simply as Fred. What began as a casual conversation turned into a story that would forever change their lives. For 3 years, they maintained a long-distance relationship, with secret visits between Australia and Denmark. It was not easy for Mary to leave her home country, her career, and everything familiar to follow her heart to a faraway country with a completely different language and customs. But true love, as they say, can move mountains, and she made the decision to take that step. And then the 8th of October 2003 arrived, the day when Queen Margrethe and the Danish Parliament officially blessed the engagement. The royal house issued an official communiqué announcing the news that delighted the entire country. Frederik, who had a reputation as a rebel, transformed before the eyes of his people into a loving and determined man. The whole royal family appeared on the balcony of Amalienborg Palace, where the Danish people saw the future princess for the first time. Do you know what moment moved everyone present? When photographers asked the couple to kiss, Frederik surprised everyone by gently taking Mary's hand and gallantly kissing it. This chivalrous gesture further won the hearts of the Danes, who saw in it a sign of respect and genuine love. The engagement ring that Frederik chose for Mary was no accident. The piece of jewelry, valued at approximately 12,000 euros, perfectly symbolized the union between the prince and his new homeland. The ring featured a beautiful 1.5-carat emerald-cut diamond at the center, flanked by 2 rubies. Do you notice the symbolism? The red and white colors of the Dannebrog, the national flag of Denmark, were represented in this piece, binding their commitments together. Most touching of all, over the years, Mary modified this original ring, adding 4 additional stones, 1 for each of her children. Crown Prince Christian, Princess Isabella, and the twins Vincent and Josephine. A beautiful symbol of how her family became the center of her life. But let us return to 2003. Mary barely knew a few words in Danish, a language known for its difficulty, yet she promised to learn it quickly and kept her word. With each public appearance, she demonstrated increasing confidence, earning the respect and love of the Danish people, who saw in her the future queen devoted to her new homeland. An intriguing aspect of this story is the role of Queen Margaret. Many might think that such a traditional and caring queen would be reluctant to accept a foreigner without noble connections as her son's wife. But the opposite happened. Queen Margaret supported the relationship from the very beginning, and there is a very interesting reason for this. Denmark is small. Everyone knows each other, Queen Margaret said about her son's previous Danish girlfriends. These words reveal a lot about why Mary turned out to be the perfect candidate. Being completely unknown, with no previous history in Denmark, Mary was like a blank sheet. She did not carry past stories that could embarrass the crown. She was exactly what the royal family needed: a new face, a fresh perspective, and above all, someone who sincerely loved Frederik for who he was, not for his title. The royal wedding took place on the 14th of May, 2004, in Copenhagen Cathedral, an event that captivated the entire world. Interestingly, it was one of the first royal events attended by Queen Letizia after the announcement of her engagement to Felipe of Spain, another woman from an ordinary family who became queen. Perhaps Mary became an inspiration for other ordinary women who later joined various royal houses across Europe. Over the years, Frederik and Mary built a strong family and learned to navigate both crises and joyful moments together. The birth of 4 children, growing duties as representatives of the crown, and finally, the major changes that came in 2024, the abdication of Queen Margaret, making Frederik and Mary the new king and queen of Denmark. That Australian woman, who once barely spoke a few words in Danish, is today Queen Mary, admired for her elegance, commitment to social issues, and ability to modernize the monarchy without losing respect for traditions. Her story reminds us that modern fairy tales do exist, but they require effort, adaptation, and genuine love to overcome challenges. Marking these 22 years since the official engagement, we see that Frederik and Mary continue to be an example of unity, especially after overcoming recent marital crises, which they handled with tact and dignity. Their story teaches us that even royal couples face difficulties, but it is the way they overcome them together that defines the strength of their marriage. Dear friends, I hope you enjoyed this journey through one of the most inspiring royal love stories of our time. If you enjoyed this story, do not forget to subscribe to our channel to learn more about the royal houses of Europe. In our next episode, we will tell how Mary has transformed her role as a royal spouse over these 2 decades. Until we meet again.